Hi everybody, 15th of September. I keep saying it's going to be another quick one, but they've been going on a bit. 15th of September, another day in my daily diaries of looking after my wife with Parkinson's and dementia. This bloody journey ain't half a roller coaster. Today we've got, it started off this morning. I got to the hospital. I was at the hospital for 7, something like that. I went and had a bit of breakfast, and I thought, I'm not waiting to go on board. I'm going on. I'm allowed to. So I went on, and they were just changing over shifts. They're all giving me a looking at. So morning as I walked past them, and then the staff nurse come over. Sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. You're not allowed on. I said, oh, I am. I said, I've been told just to quote John's campaign, or whatever you call it. John's something. John's campaign, I'm sure it is. He said, no, that doesn't apply. Or only applies during visiting hours. So I mean, how does that work for the start off? You know what I mean? It's like John's campaign means a carer can go anytime, day or night, you know, for as long as he or she wants. And as often as he or she wants. She said, because I said, well, no. I said, I'm staying. I said, I know I can. So she said, no, it's because it's a ladies' ward and we've got things to do. We'll be washing the ladies down and breakfast will be being served shortly. I said, it doesn't matter. I said, I'm staying. So she went on a bit longer. I said, it doesn't matter. I took the coat up by then and I'm pulling her chair up. So, hi, morning, Angie. Trying to wake her up. And she's hovering round beside. No, you need to go. You can't stay. You can't. I said, listen, I'm staying. That's it. End of. I'll go and get the ward sister or the one above her to come and have a word with you. I said, go and get who you want. I said, go and get security. Get the SAS. I said, but I ain't leaving. Anyway, she went, and about 5-10 minutes after, she come walking back. She said, it's okay, you can stay. I said, oh, I know I can. I said, I don't need your approval. So my day started like that. So anyway, I calmed down. Well, I come round a bit. She come over lately, hovering around. I hope you understand. I said, no, I don't actually. I said, it's a simple thing. This hospital's part of John's campaign. I said, no need for all that. Anyway, so at 15 minutes after, there's another woman in the same position as Angie, got Parkinson's, in with something else, with the dementia. And her granddaughter's a carer. Same thing. Granddaughter come in about, 8 o'clock, 8:15. Because I was in at 7:15. And it's the same thing, same nurse having a go at her. No, you can't come in. So she stood her ground. And so it's ridiculous. When the Admiral nurse did come over to see me at some point, I mentioned it to her. She said, was the nurse still on? So I said, well, yeah. I said, well, I'm not going to point fingers, but she said, right, I'll go and sort this out. So she went off and come back. She said, I've had to go at the main one on the ward. And then so did Lucy when she come out, the Macmillan nurse. I've told her the same story. So she went. But when I was going, leaving at 8 o'clock, that same nurse was still on. I mean, the long shifts, what these people are doing. And she said, you can stay. And I just grinned. I said, I know I can. I said, but I've been here a long day. I said, I'm going home. I said, I'll be here. She said, will you be here in the morning? I said, I will. Same time. I said, yep. I said, will you be on? She said, no, my day off tomorrow. So that means maybe I got the same shit again in the morning, but I don't care. I'm sticking to it. The doctor came over at some point and said they're taking Angie off the drip now, and they're looking at sending her home sooner rather than later, and somebody will come over and help sort things out with me. So I had a fast track something or other fella come over about getting Angie home, and then Lucy, the Macmillan nurse, come over. She turned up just after he'd been, so she went chatting with him. It seems I need a hoist. I've got the bed, but I need a hoist fitting. I said, I don't need a hoist. I said, I can pick Angie and move. She's He said, no, but the carers are not allowed. The carers are going to need it. So, but Lucy was saying that you do realise Angie's very poorly. You know, and without this drip, it can go either way. She's got to eat and drink. She's got to get these fluids in, because without that drip... Hey, so I've been badgering Angie all day, pecking in her, because she's been asleep. She's just been like a lost soul today. She's been asleep. I've had to forcibly open her eyes up at dinner time, and she had what did she have at dinner time? Was it a yoghurt? Well, she had a yoghurt. I give her a yoghurt for breakfast, and then for the dinner it was soup and a yoghurt. She didn't touch any of her main meal, and then for tea, a little tiny carton of orange juice, some of her main meal, probably 20% of it, and a small yoghurt pot again. But I really had to force that yoghurt pot into her. Right, Angie, come on, just another little one. And she's just not there. She was dead, very lethargic, and you can see she's giving up. You can just see it in her. You know, whether it's, I don't know. I'm just hoping so. They said maybe a couple of days before get everything sorted and put in place. Lucy's getting the palliative care in order. Lucy did say, you know, if you think it's going to be too much, we can take her and get straight to the hospice. I said, no, not a chance, Lucy. She's coming home. So, you know, for however long, if she picks up and starts drinking and eating and gets a bit of strength behind her, which again, I've been in her ear all day over it, then she might pick up. You know, we might get, you know, I don't know, whatever. But if she doesn't, then there's nothing to her now. There's nothing to her now, and she's dead lethargic. And hey, bloody hell, I hate this fucking disease. So that's where I am now. I've just got in. You can see I've still got my coat on. I need to get this done now so I can. I've got my brew. Get this done and I can just have a scream at the wall. So yeah, I'm gonna get off and scream at my wall, and I'll do another one tomorrow. All right, thank you all for listening. You take care now. Bye.